Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Strawberry Vinegar on Nintendo Switch. Oh, oh, Rie. Yes, what is it? It's going to get dark outside soon. So it is? And aren't you forgetting something? Forgetting what? That we have homework due in tomorrow? No, not that. That's not important. I think Miss Tamara would beg to differ. She's quite a scary teacher. She might be short, but she takes discipline seriously, and her punishments are always severe. I don't think she'd go easy on Alicia just because she's the beloved foreign exchange student. But I want to go to the festival, Rie. I want to go. And I want to finish my homework. We can't all have what we want in this world. But you can finish your homework anytime. I can only go to this festival once, and this is my chance, and you're ruining it. I want to wear this cute yukata Kazuki made for me. Well, I feel my resolve beginning to waver. It is true that the homework isn't the most exciting thing in the universe, and that it has been a while since I went to a festival. I don't really like festivals that much. They're far too crowded and noisy, and the smell of sweat and frying foods churns my stomach. Whenever I go to festivals, people step on my toes and my hair gets all knotted, and the only thing I can think of is going back home to the safety of my room. But I've never been to a festival with somebody my own age before. If Alicia was with me, what would it be like? Would it be any different? Would it actually finally be fun? Come on, Rie. Please. Please. Dad, what are you doing here? And what are you wearing? Sorry, Rie. I just, like festivals too, you know. I know, you're so predictable. Did he really need to get all dressed up? I don't even know if I want to go. Let's go to the festival. Yay, a festival! We're going to a real festival! Alicia spins about a few times on the spot. The sleeves of her yukata flutter in the wind, and she giggles. I thought Alicia's blonde hair might look kind of weird when contrasted with a traditional Japanese item of clothing, but it suits her surprisingly well. Even it has been folded the wrong way around. I told her only dead people wore their yukatas like that, but she just smiled and said, since she came from hell, didn't that make sense? I dropped the subject after that. Arguing with Alicia is tiring. Dad picked out some nice colors, and they suit the creaminess of her complexion. I might have doubted Dad's skill on most scores, but I shouldn't doubt his fashion sense. He's eerily perceptive when it comes to clothes. I might be a little embarrassed to admit, but Alicia looks kind of cute. My sweet angels, they're both so adorable. I think I have something in my eye. Dear, you're crying. I am? That's right. Would you like a handkerchief? Thank you, Yuki. It's been so long since I went out with Ryu like this, and to a festival too. I'm getting all emotional. There. If you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm here for you. Thank you, Yuki. Mom, incidentally, isn't wearing a yukata. Though her parents are really traditional, Mom's always preferred Western clothes. Maybe that's the reason why. She went through a rebellious period as a teenager where she refused to wear anything other than pants or pencil skirts, and she still hasn't grown out of it. She's not all the time, though. She can't get enough of it. My mom is full of contradictions. The four of us climb the streets of stone steps that lead up to the temple. Lanterns are strung up through the streets, and they blink at us shyly. In less than 5 minutes, we make it to the temple grounds. I'm so happy we came here. Are you happy, Rie? Well, I glance about the festival grounds. Our temple is fairly small, and, as Dad said, it's pretty old. The roof is filled with holes, and the woodwork is slowly being gnawed away by termites. Thankfully, it's dark now, so it's hard to see what a dilapidated state the temple is in. Not even the paper lanterns strung up in the trees and around the tops of the stalls are able to illuminate this sad fact. If you ever see the sorry state of the temple under the morning sun, like I have, you'd probably be tricked into believing that this place is nice. I guess I don't have anything against this temple. Spending money at this festival might be a nice thing to do. A small act of philanthropy, you could call it. It's busy, like I thought it would be, but I can't see any familiar faces. I don't doubt some of my fellow classmates are in here somewhere, but the grounds are so packed it's hard to pick apart individual faces in the throng. I don't like crowded places, but I'm glad for that right now. If I can't see my classmates, they can't see me. What better place to hide a tree than in a forest? The smell of cooking food drifts through the air, noodles and takoyaki, and grilled sweet corn. Though I already ate, it's making me feel kind of hungry. All this excitement is making me feel hungry. I want to eat something right now. But don't you have any self-control? Not at all, and besides... Alicia pokes my stomach. It growls in response, like a baited bear, and I blush, batting her hands away. Judging by the sounds of it, neither do you. I'm not hungry. That was just self-defense. Defense? Yes, because you poked me. That isn't fair. You biased the results. It was an outlier. You can try to deny it all you want, but I can tell how you really feel. If you're hungry, you should come and eat something with me. That's right. It's not healthy to deny your body what it wants, Rie. If you're too hard on yourself, you'll never truly be able to cut loose and have fun. Don't you agree, dear? That's right. You're plenty responsible as it is, Rie. You should let yourself act like a child. You really are for once. Seeing you happy makes me happy too. But the food at these stalls are overpriced. Maybe so, but your smile is priceless. Then will you let me buy whatever I want? Of course. Here you go, dear. Dad hands me a few notes and I pocket them. Thanks, Dad. I already have savings of my own, but I'm hardly going to turn down free cash. I think Dad's giving me quite a bit too. How much does he think I'm going to eat anyway? Well, given Alicia's monstrous appetite, it must be at rank EX at least. It might be an adequate amount of money after all. You're such a doormat, dear. What do you mean? You're always handing out favors. You're so kind-hearted, but that's why everybody walks over you. But you like being stepped on, don't you? Well, please don't say things like that in front of Rie, Yuki. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me, too. I don't want to hear my parents flirting, especially given their flirting is so weird. Is it any wonder I've grown up the way I have when my parents are so dysfunctional? At least they would be dysfunctional if they didn't seem to love each other so much. Okay then, if you really want me to go off and enjoy myself, I guess I have no complaints. Alicia and I will meet you at the gates after the fireworks, alright? That's fine with me. Have fun, dear. Your father and I will be sure to enjoy ourselves to the fullest, too. With an eerie little giggle, Mom links her arms with Dad's. Now, run along, and don't spend your father's money at once. Don't spend your father's money at once. He doesn't have much of it, you know. That was a low blow, Yuki. Don't worry, I'll try not to bankrupt Dad. Well, I can do my best, but Lisa doesn't seem to care about the finer points of human financing. She's already started to drool. Yay, food! Alicia and I walk away. We get lost in the crowds almost instantly. It takes me a few moments before I realize Lucy's arm is linked with mine. Are these the famous takoyakis I've heard so much about? And that's right. Eat as much as you like. Oh, I don't mind if I do. Hey, be careful. Those are still... Yow! Hot, I was going to say. 3-second rule? There's no 3-second rule. Food gets swarmed with bacteria the moment it hits the ground. Especially in a busy place like this. Does that mean I can't eat it after all? I don't know what you'd want to do. I don't know if you'd want to. It'd make you sick, and it'd be stone cold by now. But it looks so sad like that. I feel so guilty. It wanted me to eat it, but I betrayed its pure and honest feelings. I'm the worst. If you care so much about that takoyaki's feelings, why were you planning to eat even more of them? I think that's even worse. You're right. I was being too sentimental, but now I've finally seen the light. I can't become too attached to any one piece of takoyaki, or others will get jealous. I should share my love evenly. Thank you for the food. And with this, she pops the second piece of takoyaki into her mouth. This time, she's prepared for how hot it is, and she doesn't spit it out in surprise. Instead, she chews on it, a smile slowly blossoming across her face, and then she swallows. Is it good? It's delicious. You should try some, Rie. Alright. I take one of the sticks of takoyaki and turn it over in my hand. The takoyakis speared on the stick are all fairly uniform. Spherical shape, smaller than a clenched fist, but bigger than a marble. Their skins are light brown, and they are coated in takoyaki sauce, mayonnaise, spring onions, and dried bonito flakes. The savory smell of the takoyaki drifts through the air. It's comforting, and my stomach starts to rumble again. Embarrassed over my weakness, I bring a piece of takoyaki to my mouth and slip it off the wooden pick. The outside shell of the takoyaki is light and crispy, and the generous amount of mayonnaise and takoyaki sauce alleviates the dryness of the texture. It's warm, but not overwhelmingly so, and fills my mouth with an array of flavors. It's good, but there's one problem. The heart of the takoyaki, the most important bit, is barren and empty. It isn't chewy at all. There isn't any octopus inside my takoyaki. The takoyaki. What do you mean? It's hollow inside. The vendor didn't put any octopus in all the takoyaki. It was probably to save money. Octopus is pretty expensive. No way. That's so mean. Well, don't worry, Rie. As Alicia Dia Ilvis, the daughter of the great Ilvis family, I swear on my good name that I will punish that conniving takoyaki vendor for shaming you so. No, wait a minute, what? What do you mean? He will rue the day that he decided to trick us. Murder and arson are in a category of their own, but when a mere human thinks they can meddle around with food for a bit of money, that's truly unforgivable. Alicia, wait, come back. I reach forwards, grabbing hold of her hand, just in time. If I hadn't, who knows what she might have done. She looks scary. I don't think I've ever seen Alicia so obviously enraged before. Even her eyes are glowing. Does she really care about food that much? What is it, Rie? Don't you want me to teach that bad man a lesson? I don't really mind, to be honest. I just don't want to cause a fuss. Besides, the piece of takoyaki you had was fine, wasn't it? Well, that's true, but it isn't fair. Doesn't it upset you, Rie? That you had some octopus and I didn't? That's right. Since you were nice to me and let me come to the festival, it wouldn't be fair if you didn't get to eat any delicious octopus. I feel bad for you. That takoyaki vendor went too far, tampering with my precious Rie's food. So I'm her precious Rie now? When did that happen? Well, I appreciate the thought, but I don't care that much. I don't even like festivals. I came here for your sake, so it's more important that you enjoy it. Does that mean you're not enjoying yourself, Rie? I wouldn't say that. I'm having a good time, really. And that isn't even a lie. Told to placate Lycia's wrath, I am enjoying myself, more than I expected to. Being with Lycia is exciting and, dare I say it, fun. I've only known her a short while, but she's really growing on me, kind of like a mushroom, but with more blonde hair. I just don't want you to make a fuss over me. I'm fine, so long as you're having fun. Well, of course I'm having fun. Boy. Allergies. Because of the food? No, silly, because you just said that you were. Alicia. Anyways, if your piece of takoyaki doesn't have any octopus in it, there's only one solution. And what is that? Alicia smiles eerily in a manner that reminds me of a little of my mother and spears another, now cool, piece of takoyaki from the container resting in my lap. You'll have to eat all of this takoyaki until you find one with a bit of octopus in it. And if there isn't any octopus in any of them, then that vendor's corruption really does run deep. Still, he will not defeat us. I will have a backup plan. Really? Yep, we can just share the piece of takoyaki that I just ate. How can we share something if you've already eaten it? I'm not a bird, and I'm not a big fan of regurgitated food. It's simple. I can still taste that piece of takoyaki, just a little, and I don't mind sharing that with you. Now I see what she means. If my face was red before, it must be like a beet by now. No thank you. I'll pass. I'm just fine. Delicious. The takoyaki was really delicious. It would have been better if the vendor hadn't ripped us off, though. If they're octopus balls, you should put a bit of octopus in all of them. That's how the world works, I'm afraid. Capitalism is a sad thing. It brings out the worst in all of us, but it is necessary for our survival. I don't really get it. It's fine. I didn't think you would. I forget that not all of us have read The Capitalist Manifest by Adler and Kelso, 1958. Anyway, I'm still hungry. Still? After you ate all that takoyaki? That's right. The takoyaki was good, but I want to eat something sweet now. You had something sweet to eat before you came here. But that was like 3 hours ago. I'm hungry and I want to try more food at the festival. Can't we, Rie? Please, please? I wonder. Shaved ice. Then go. Let's do Dango. Ooh, these are so cute. What are they, Rie? They're Dango. Dango? Alicia tilts her head to one side, pressing her index finger against her lower lip. I thought Dango were round and you ate them off sticks, like the takoyaki. Some Dango are round, but these are Chichi Dango. They're usually shaped in squares, like this. Oh, I see. How innovative. Japanese food is so interesting. Is it? I don't really understand Alicia sometimes. She gets excited by the strangest of things. Anyway, I'm going to try one. Thank you for the food. The Dango are a light pink color, like cherry blossoms, and they are coated with rice flour. They shine underneath the paper lights strung up around the festival ground, which makes them look even more appetizing. Following Alicia's lead, I pick up a piece of Dango, staining my fingertips with rice flour in the process, and pop it in my mouth. The Dango is sweet, fused with the soft, subtle flavor of cherry blossoms. They're chewy, but not overly so, and it slides down my throat easily. Ah, so delicious. I'm so happy I could cry. Please don't cry. I don't have a handkerchief on me, and I wouldn't know what to do. Oh, I see you're introducing Alicia to the wonders of authentic Japanese sweets. Rie, my parents would approve. Mom? Though a lot of people around here are wearing Western clothes instead of the more traditional yukata, Mom still stands out. Mom always has to be the center of attention wherever she goes. I guess that's why she became an actress. I can't think of any career more suited for her. She's holding a paper bag filled with pieces of light pink Chichi Dango in her arms. I should have known she'd be here. She's always loved Japanese food. And if Mom's here, then... Where's Dad? He's over there. I think he's trying to catch some fish. Mom gestures vaguely with one hand. I turn, and sure enough, I'm able to catch a glimpse of his light pink head of hair. Dad stands out in the crowds too, not because of his clothes, but because he's so very tall. Mom and Dad really do make a striking couple. At any rate, I'm glad you're enjoying your Dango, Alicia. It really is good, isn't it? It's delicious. The flavors aren't very strong, but that's what makes it special. Indeed, if the flavor was any stronger, it might be overpowering, given the texture is so chewy. The light flavor offsets the texture, so it doesn't become too tiring on your palate. That's exactly right. The flavor complements the texture. That's so clever. Isn't it just? My mother used to make a lot of traditional Japanese sweets. Mochi, dafuku, manju, and she told me about them. Some of the cooking methods are rather complicated. It's all about trying to find balance, achieving a perfect harmony between the flavor and the texture. Japanese cuisine sounds complicated. I need to study harder. I'd be more than happy to help you. I may not look it, but I know a thing or two about food myself. I used to love watching Mother when she made mochi for our New Year's celebrations. She didn't make cheap mochi from Mochino either. She pounded the rice herself. It was difficult work, but she said it was worth it for that authentic flavor. My mother didn't do things by halves. I think that's why she liked Kazuki so much. When I started dating him, he'd come over and help her with the cooking. Mom probably thought, I wish my daughter here was as helpful as this boy. Why couldn't he be my child instead? I'm sure my mother would like you too, Alicia. Do you really think so? Of course. She's a kind old dear. She doesn't have a bad word to say about anyone. She likes doting on people too. I'm sure she'll be especially interested in a girl who comes from the humble town of Hell. I don't know if Hell is all that interesting. We don't have any nice food there. It doesn't matter. Mother would love to spoil you. You and Rie should go and visit her sometime. She probably gets lonely up in Onomichi. I want to visit her more often, but I don't really have the time. Work has been so hectic lately. Don't forget, Licia isn't going to be here for very long. We won't have enough time to go anywhere. Besides, I have school. Yes, you're right. You're also sensible, dear. It must be because you're my daughter. Well, if Licia comes to stay in the summer holiday, you could always go and visit her then. Do you like the sound of that? You can eat as much natto as you want. You'll be eating natto until the sight of fermented soybeans makes you want to scream. Don't be so negative, Rie. You can never have too much natto. I beg to differ. You fancy city girl, you. You don't appreciate your heritage enough. You've been spoilt by all the Western restaurants around here. Says you when you always go around dressed like a Hollywood movie star. When was the last time you ever wore a yukata? Don't be silly, Rie. This is that, and this is this, and they're two entirely different things. Are they? I'm not sure. At least Licia seems happy. She always is. I'd love to visit your relatives, Rie. That sounds like fun. I want to become part of an even bigger family. My family back in hell is already pretty big, though. Besides, I'm not sure if they'd let me come back here again. Dad's kind of strict. If you want, I could try to convince your parents for you. Adults don't always listen to children, but they usually listen to people their own age. There's no real sense to it other than pride, but that's just how the world works. You'd really talk to my dad? Of course. The language barrier might be a little difficult, but I have a few secrets of my own. Norwegian's not an entirely foreign language to me. But you aren't scared, are you? Why should I be scared? Because he's my dad. He's one of the 72 earls that govern hell. He sentenced more souls to eternal damnation than you have stars in the sky. And I imagine I've stolen at least double the amount of hearts during my career. Nothing frightens me, sweetie. You just leave it to me. Wow, you're so cool. Yes, I hear that a lot too. Once more, I'm amazed at just how humble my mother is. Truly, you could never find a meeker, milder Yamato Nadeshiko across the whole of Japan. No, bad kitty. Sir, please try to keep your cat under control. I told you it isn't mine, I just... Yeah! Huh? Now, why did that scream sound so familiar? Oh my. Oh no. There seems to have been an altercation at the fish scooping stall. Usually fish scooping stalls have a small body of water at front contained in a tub that's filled with goldfish, only goldfish, and yet for some reason, there's a grown man sitting on the ground, drenched in water, goldfish flapping about helplessly around him, choked by the air. The tub that once held those fishes knocked to one side, leaking water out uselessly, like the stump of an arm oozes blood. Yeah, my smiles are pretty... yeah, my similes are pretty horrible. What of it? Worse things air on TV. The man sits there, dazed and confused, shivering in the cold night breeze. He looks familiar. Horribly familiar. I don't recognize the cat perched on top of his head, though. How on earth did that happen? Dear, you're in such a state. You're covered in water. Your yukata's all wet. I know. I'm sorry for causing a scene, Yuki. It's okay. You don't need to apologize to me. I'm not upset. Yuki, thank you. Now, hold still. I'll help clean you up. Mom tousled Dad's hair with a clean towel. The none too impressed owner of the fish catching stall handed us. How did this even happen, though? You are aware you're meant to catch the fish at that stall, not go swimming with them, aren't you? Of course I'm aware. It was just, a problem. Problem? Yes, that cat. It was one of the cats I always feed when I see it by the riverbank. I guess I thought I must have some food on me because it started to follow me, and then... it got a bit annoyed since I didn't have anything to give it, so it pounced on me, I suppose. Pounced? A tiny kitten like that? That's right, pounced. Don't be silly, dear. It's a stray cat, not a lion. How could it pounce? I don't know, but it did. It pounced and it knocked me over, and then, well, you all saw what happened. You know, I told you not to feed the homeless cats around here, didn't I? I did say. I know you said, but they all look so sad and lonely, I couldn't help myself. And now they see you as a massive pushover. Dad sniffs. I just wanted to help them. You had noble aims, I'm sure. Sadly, the best laid plans often go awry. I've lived in this world long enough to understand that. Hold on a minute. Rie, when are the fireworks going to start? When the festival's nearly over, I suppose. Aw, that's kind of sad. I want to see the fireworks, but I don't want the festival to end either. All good things have to come to an end. That's just the way of things. I suppose so. I'll have to go home soon too. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. Saturday seems so close all of a sudden. Saturday? I thought you were staying here for a week. I am. Then you should be going back home on Sunday. There are 7 days in a week after all. 7? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I've lived in a world with 7 days, with 7-day weeks for 9 whole years. I think I'd know that by now. Wow, that's strange. You mean you don't have a 7-day week in hell? Not at all. We only have 6 days in each week. I think we had a Sunday once, but we got rid of it. We haven't had Sundays for a millennia. I guess that makes sense. Not only is Sunday a holy day in some religions, but the number of the beast is 666. Doesn't a 6-day week sound a lot more hellish than a 7-day week? Now that I think about it, there's no reason for hell to be similar to Earth, even if they do have internet access and anime. Simple things like that I take for granted, like the weather, the number of days in a year, and public holidays might be completely different. Still, I can't believe that you looked up all the festivals in the local area, but you didn't think to check how many days in a week we have. I guess it slipped my mind. I'm sure it did. After all, it's only a small detail, completely insignificant in the grand scheme of things, really. So she'll be gone on Saturday, will she? I should be glad for this sudden development, but for some reason I feel an unpleasant twisting sensation inside my chest. I don't suppose it makes much difference if Lisa goes home on Saturday or Sunday, but she told me about it so suddenly it's taken me quite by surprise. Maybe it's because I was having such a nice time. Rie, look! Rie, it's starting! Flowers are blooming in the sky, bright red, yellow, green, and blue. No, they're not flowers, they're fireworks. A series of loud, explosive bangs split through the night air, and the crowd cheers in approval. Alicia cheers too, her face illuminated with a whole carnival of colors. Amazing. This is so amazing. Another volley of fireworks are sent up to the sky and explode in showers of sparks. The popping, banging, and crackling continues, dyeing the night sky in an array of rainbow colors. So beautiful. I've never seen anything like it before. Incredible! Yet another round of fireworks bursts in the night air, and Lisha giggles, a light, airy giggle that sounds almost euphoric. Rie? She turns about on the spot, the sleeves of her yukata fluttering in the breeze, and looks at me with a smile. Thank you for bringing me here. This is like something from a dream. I'll never forget this moment. Not ever. Hello, you two. Did you have fun? I had loads of fun. I saw the fireworks and they were like, boom. Lisha throws her hands up and out in the air to demonstrate, and Mom giggles. Yes, I imagine they were. You have such a way with words, Lisha. Thank you. And I got to do lots of other fun things too. Oh, like what? Ryan ate lots of nice food, and we got to throw hoops, and I made a sugar candy sculpture too. Sugar candy sculptures? That takes me back. I used to like doing those. You need a steady hand, don't you? That's right. I wasn't very good at it, but Rie was. She had such a look of concentration on her face. She didn't get a single crack in her sculpture. Very impressive. Rie has always been a hard-working girl. She will accept any burden, no matter how great. Please don't lump me together with Dad. It's nothing like him. And speaking of Dad, Dad trails along behind Mom, his head hanging. He looks like a battered flower at the very back of the florist that nobody would want to buy. Half the petals missing. The sight is kind of sad, actually. Dad, are you all right? I'm fine. You don't look fine. It's just ever since I fell into the goldfish pond, I keep shivering. His teeth have been chattering away all night like castanets. I could hardly hear the fireworks. I'm sorry, Yuki. Dad suddenly sneezes loudly and Alicia jumps. Are they letting off more fireworks? That sounded like a really loud one. Don't worry about it, sweetie. It's just my dear, dripping husband. I even bought a stick of candy floss. I was shaking so much I dropped it. Don't worry, dear. If you catch a cold, I'll be sure to warm you up. Now, why don't we make our way back home? We've all had a very busy night. I hope Kazuki will be alright. He just has a bit of a cold. I bet he'll be just fine tomorrow morning. I sure hope so. I know so. Despite what he looks like, Dad's a resilient person. He must be to live under the same roof as Mom for so long without having some kind of nervous breakdown. It's bad enough that Mom's pretty, intelligent, and rich, but she doesn't half like to show off about it either. Even I feel inferior compared to Mom sometimes, so I have no idea what her company does to Dad. Well, I'm sure he'll cope. What's a little bit of water compared to more than a decade of being stood beneath your own parent's shadow? Or your own partner's shadow? Sure, he might have been shivering and coughing a lot when we walk back home, but I'm sure a hot bath will solve everything. I had so much fun, though. Alicia sits at the foot of my bed, toying with Koto, a bright smile on her face. I'm so excited I couldn't possibly get sleep now. Oh, you couldn't, could you? No, there's just no way. Well, that's awfully convenient. Well, what do you mean? I mean, there'll be no problems if I make you do your math homework now, will there? Right, that's not fair. I don't want to do my homework now. It's far too late. Well, you should have thought about that before you asked to go to the festival, shouldn't you? You're so mean. I'm only being mean for your sake, Alicia. And for mine as well. I can't deny it. Having power over people is rather rewarding. Day 3, Wednesday. Well, are we having natto for breakfast again? Now, there's nothing wrong with extra natto. But I don't like it. Right, I'm shocked at you. How could a daughter of mine, or my own flesh and blood, claim to dislike natto? Natto is the richest, most nutritious, most humble, hard-working of all fermented beans, and I will not stand to hear it disgraced so in my home. How can a bean be humble or hard-working? I prod up my natto with tips of my chopsticks. Squish, squish, squish! As expected, it doesn't respond. I mean, it's just a bowl of soybeans. What else am I expecting? The natto's just lying there. It doesn't really do much. That's because you're not giving it a chance. You should eat your natto and allow it to spread fermented goodness throughout your body. If you say so. But it sounds kind of gross. What would fermented goodness even look like? Come on, Rie. This is eating her natto. You don't want to lose to Alicia, do you? It's a competition. Of course it is. I'm going to give you affection points throughout the day based on your behavior. Who knows? If you earn over 20 affection points, I might even give you an autograph. That's called blackmail, Mom. Oh no, and now you've lost 1 affection point, Rie. Like I care. And that's another. You're enjoying this, aren't you? But of course, is there any deeper meaning to life other than enjoyment? You're such a bad role model. I love my mother, but she can be a pain sometimes. Well, it's not like I care about these affection points, whatever they are. This is just some stupid game Mom will probably get tired of in an hour. Mom will get tired of in an hour. Why would I want her autograph anyway? She's my own mother. If you're gonna give me a prize, have the decency to make it cold hard cash. Ah, Yuki. Yes, what is it, dear? I was wondering, how many affection points do I have? Well, I guess there's one person at this table who's always desperate for Mom's love and affection, even if her love and affection can be rather scary. Now, let me see. Minus 500, perhaps. Minus 500? But why? What did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. I just wanted to see you cry. How cruel. You really are a sadist. And yet you still love me. That's right, I love you more than anything. Good, good. I love you too, dear. Now, why don't you come here? I'll kiss your tears away. Tears that you caused, Mom, I want to say, but I decided to keep quiet. I don't really understand the relationship between my parents, but at least they seem to get along. Dad crosses the kitchen and kneels next to Mom, his cheeks singed pink. I watch unimpressed as Mom presses a kiss against Dad's cheek. I roll my eyes. Come on, Alicia, we're going to school. The sooner I get out of this house, the better. It isn't fair. What isn't fair? I didn't get to finish all of my natto. Most people would count that as a blessing. Well, I'm not most people. I like natto, Rie. I like it lots and lots. I want second helpings too, and thirds. Well, I'm sorry, but Dad was a little distracted this morning. I don't think he was in any fit frame of mind to serve you more natto, Alicia. I guess, but on top of that, you're saying we have to eat this. Alyssa rustles a bag filled with convenience store food clutched tightly in her right hand. For lunch, I want to eat something homemade. There's nothing wrong with convenience store food. You should be thankful I had enough money on me so we could buy this at all. But... Alicia sniffs, kicking at a small pebble on the side of the road. It's still not fair. Don't be like that. You gotta eat lots and lots of delicious food at the festival yesterday, didn't you? I guess that's true. Alicia pauses. The wind tugs at her pale blonde hair, making it flutter. Her tail, protruding beneath the hem of her school skirt, twitches. Because of the breeze, or because of her own emotions, I'm not sure. Maybe both. I wonder how that tail of hers works. Is it particularly sensitive? If I prodded it with a pin, would it hurt? I kind of want to try it out, but then I'd be giving in to my base urges, and I'd be no better than Mom. Sorry for being selfish, Rie. I don't want to be ungrateful. I'm really happy that you've done so many nice things for me. I blink. Alicia's been sulking all the way to school, her face cloudier than a thunderstorm. I didn't expect her to concede so easily. I thought she'd be sulking for the rest of the day. But maybe not. Alicia might be stubborn and hard-headed, but she's not completely unreasonable. At heart, she's a sweet girl, or demon rather, and I don't think she wants to upset me. I think you're a nice girl, Rie. I'm happy I met you, even if I was being all sulky just now. That doesn't change the fact that I like you lots and lots. Well, I look down at the ground, my face flushing. I'm not used to being complimented, so I react kind of badly to it. It's fine. You don't need to go that far. I don't think I'm particularly nice either. You might not think it, but I do. I know it. Alicia shifts the plastic carrier bag of food to her left hand, then links the fingers of her right hand with mine. Her palm is so soft and gentle, unblemished despite the pit of burning sulfur from which she came, and the sudden warmth makes my cheeks turn light pink. You're a nice girl, Rie. The nicest. That's why you took me to the festival yesterday, and why you let me eat all that yummy food. I know you didn't want to go, but you didn't refuse because you're really soft deep down inside. I'm not. I thought it would be a pain to argue with you, that's all. Because you didn't want to upset me, right? Alicia's fingers squeeze about mine, insistent, and I'm forced to turn my head away. Her gaze is so pure, I'm beginning to feel lightheaded. Idiot. Maybe I am. I shouldn't have been so rude earlier, and I shouldn't focus on the things I don't have. Instead, I should focus on what I do have instead. A half-eaten bowl of natto back home and a bag of cheap convenience store food? No, silly. Alicia smiles, her pale lashes flutter, and her tail, black as a stick of licorice, twitches. I have you. Alicia, you look just as lovely as ever. That uniform really does suit you. The pale blue complements your eyes. And your hair's so cute and fluffy. It looks just like a little cloud. I want to take a bite out of it. Nom nom nom. Thank you, everybody. The class crowds around Alicia as soon as she sets foot in the classroom. These faceless masses sure are predictable, and they are noisy too. At least Alicia seems to be taking it in her stride. She doesn't even break a sweat. I wonder if there's a way to make any money from Alicia's immense popularity. Perhaps I could ask Dad to sew Alicia a few more cute frilly outfits, and then he can take photos. Dad's not that good at taking photos. He always gets his thumb in the way of the lens, but when it comes to cute things, his skill level increases dramatically. If it wasn't for Alicia's sake, he'd be able to take photos that could rival that of a professional. And then I could take these photos and laminate them, and Mom could teach Alicia how to draw a cute, quirky, and innovative autograph of her own. I could get Alicia to sign these stacked of photographs, and then we could give them to people at school, for a price, of course. I'm thinking maybe 500 yen. Does that sound like too much? Too little? If every person in my class bought one, we'd be raking in the money in no time. I saw you at the festival yesterday, Alicia. No, you did? That's right. Your yukata looked adorable. Thank you. Kazuki made it for me. Kazuki? Isn't that Sakuraba's dad? The one who looks like he's going to cry all the time? My mom said she saw him at a parents' evening last term. Apparently he got lost and somehow ended up getting locked in the gym storage cupboard. What, seriously? No way. Please don't remind me. I thought I'd finally managed to put that painful memory behind me. I can't believe it. How could a klutz like that sew such cute clothes? The world is full of mysteries. The biggest mystery being, how the heck Alicia got so cute. Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I'd seen her at the festival too. I didn't see Alicia, but I saw somebody who looked like her. What? You mean there's another cute blonde girl living in our town? I'm not sure. I'd never seen her before, and I didn't get a good look, but she was very pretty. And very, very blonde. Blonde girls really are the best. When you see golden hair like that, don't you want to lick it? No, that's weird. Really? You guys think so? Definitely weird. It seems rather uncouth. It's rather strange. You don't get any nutrients out of licking hair either. No way! Did I just expose a really embarrassing side of myself? It's alright, disembodied student A. I don't even remember your name, so it doesn't make any difference to me. Alright, class, sit down in your seats. Class quiets instantly, even the students with the hair licking fetish. Right. Miss Tamara peers at us from over the rims of her glasses, her arms crossed beneath her chest. I know you were all having fun at the festival yesterday, but I hope you remembered to do your homework. Yes, miss. Good. If I find out any of you are lying to me, there will be consequences. Her eyes flashed dangerously and I gulped. I'm starting to feel anxious myself, even though I made sure to do all my homework. Miss Tamara has that effect on people. Also, I have some news I need to share with you regarding our school's trip on Friday up in the mountains. Oh, that's right, the school trip. I forgot about it, given all the things that have been going on. But there really is a school trip coming up, isn't there? I glance over at Alicia, curious. What does she think about this? It doesn't take me long to figure out. A school trip. A real school trip. Her face is flushed and her eyes are sparkling. So, you already knew we were going on a school trip. That's right. But how did you know? Even I'd forgotten about it. It's elementary, my dear Watson. You know, Sherlock Holmes never actually said that. Of course he didn't. You can't trick me, Rie. I know he isn't real. Well, that's also true, I guess. Alicia grins. She looks so smug, I kind of want to pinch her cheeks. Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is audap. You've been watching Strawberry Vinegar on Nintendo Switch. Like I said, it's a real cute little story. I'm not reading it well, but I hope you get the gist of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.